Hello, everyone. My name's Shane Holloway, and I wanted to start this channel because I felt like there's not enough voices coming out of Canada, especially ones speaking the truth. And so I wanted to go through some things that I thought was going on in the world. And I started this new channel, so I hope you like it. And what I wanted to start talking about first is what I seen today, which was very disturbing. This 100-year-old World War II veteran was speaking on Good Morning Britain, and let's hear what he had to say.
What does Remembrance Sunday mean for you? What is your message?
My message is, I can see in my mind's eye those rows and rows of white stones of all the hundreds of my friends and everybody else that gave their lives for what? The country of today. No, I'm sorry. The sacrifice wasn't worth the result that it is now.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
What do you mean by that, though? At this point?
What we fought for, and what we fought for was our freedom. We find that even now it's darn sight worse than what it was when I fought for it.
Oh, Alec, I'm sorry you feel like that, because I want you to know that all the generations that have come since, including me and my children, are so grateful for your bravery and all that for service personnel. And it's our job now, isn't it, to make it the country that you fought for. You absolutely fought for.
Is it.
And we will do. We want to...
I'm so wonderful to know there are people like you that can spread the word around.
We will do.
Younger generation.
And I guarantee that everybody watching at home will be wanting you to send lots of love. We've got another little bit special thing for you, Alec. We've got the D-Day darlings here. Come on over, guys. You've got a little special present for him. Ooh. Come and give it if you can, to thank you for all your many brave years of service and others like you.
This is our album, Alec, and I know you love a lot of the songs on there. And this is the least we can do. This is such a small thing, but you know, we love you so much, Alec.
And it's all signed for you there as well.
These young ladies are like my own daughters.
So that kind of broke my heart when I heard that. And I know exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about what's going on in the West right now. And that's why I'm making this video, because I wanted to talk about some things that are going on right now. And they're very important, and I'm not exactly a journalist, so we're going to go over them. Hopefully I do a good job. Let me know in the comments what you think. And what do you guys want me to cover next? So this next one is from Bob of Speaker's Corner in the UK. End the TV license and let those ideologies get a real job. So he's commenting on a post. The BBC, so the British Broadcasting Corporation, upholds a complaint about a presenter telling the truth and considered her facial expressions to express a controversial view about trans people. BC goes full in 1984. So this is actually, I'm pretty sure this is a quote from the book. To wear an improper expression on your face was itself a punishable offense. There was even a word for it in newspeak, face crime, it was called. So this is like next level censorship. They're even censoring themselves now, which is not a good sign, I don't think, for anybody. But maybe that reporter got red-pilled and will join the right side of history now. So I thought this one was important too. I don't know if you could see it good there. Let me zoom in a bit. So the grandson of the Dutch Nazi collaborator who signed the 1940 order expelling all Jewish civil servants is the artistic director who canceled the Amsterdam Jewish community's Hanukkah concert. So, and then he So his grandson canceled this one. The same guy who canceled it in 1940 is basically what he's saying. And this is the post right here. A few days ago, the Royal, I don't know, I can't pronounce that, at Censorship announced it was canceling a Chanukah celebration organized by Amsterdam's small Jewish community. Today, Dutch attorney Oscar at Hammerstein Orchestra, probably, a leading voice against anti-Semitism, revealed a documented historic link. The grandfather of the Censorship's current director, Simon Renicki, signed the 1940s order expelling all Jewish civil servants under the Nazi occupation. The official document is shown below. 75% of Dutch Jews were murdered in the Holocaust. 102,000 out of 140,000, the highest proportion in Western Europe. Now, on the eve of the 87th anniversary of Kristallnacht, Jews are once again being excluded in Amsterdam. This is such a horrible thing, guys. To be reading stuff like this all day long, every day, and people not even know what's going on. And I'm pretty sure most of us would be against this kind of stuff if they actually knew what was happening. So here's the letter. But I'm going through articles to show you some of the stuff that's going on, like just recently.
It is on TikTok.
So this one, Tommy Robinson shared. He said the world needs to know about this. So this young lady, her name is right here. I'm not going to try to butcher it, but you can see right here. And she did a translated version with AI so that we can hear it for ourselves. So I'm going to help her spread her message. Like, you guys listen to this. The AI actually does an insane job of translating. Check it out.
Last night, I learned that our commentator on Ligne Droite, Jean-Eudes Ghana, was taken into police custody because he posted a video on TikTok showing Afghan migrants loitering around his local supermarket in his rural town. Obviously, it is unacceptable to put someone in police custody simply because they dare to show reality. The reality that, in fact, all French people experience every day. A reality that is chaotic. So, it's clear that this bothers those in power when we shine a light on what's really happening all over France, since they are constantly trying to make it invisible. But there is no way we are going to let this slide. And so, since it bothers them when we show reality, since the people who do so end up in police custody, well, I invite everyone to show this reality. So, I'm going to start. I'm going to show you the daily life of a young woman who simply has to take the train in Paris, and who therefore finds herself in sordid neighborhoods. And I encourage everyone to do the same.
So I'll just pause it right here and read it. In front of the train station, I had to walk past about 30 men who didn't even speak French. None of them had any luggage. I doubt they were waiting for a train. They all looked idle, just watching people go by, and I didn't feel safe. Some were shouting, others were blasting music or smoking, who knows what. The atmosphere is always tense. It's hard for a woman to express the anxiety she feels when walking past that kind of group, staring at you from head to toe. So someone did this and went to jail for doing this. And I watched just people do this like all over and never go to jail. So it's not right. And I'm going to share her message for everybody. It's people like this that are asking others to stand up all over the world now. That's inspired me to do this, because I actually do know a lot about what's going on.
There's no way we will let them stop us from sharing what we experience, from bearing witness. Today, we are faced with a political justice system that imprisons people who want to show what is really happening in France. It's unacceptable. It won't happen like this. I suggest that we all follow the movement that Jean-Eudes Ghana started, that we show what's happening around us, that we show what daily life is like for the French, what we have to endure every day because of the poor management by our politicians, because of this migration crisis that has been forced on us for years. So share photos and videos of your daily life, and then we'll see how far it goes. We'll see how many of us end up in police custody. I'm ready for it. I think you are too. Anyway, we've had enough. We're going to stop letting this happen to us. And there's no way Jean-Eudes Gana is going to pay a loan for something he didn't do. That's it. So I'm starting the movement and I hope you'll follow.
Yeah, so that's her name.
Last
on
night,
X.
I learned that our comment.
Tommy and I reposted it, so I'll put my link to my X in the Discord or the YouTube video. So this is Dan Burmawi. I've never had to say that out loud. Sorry if I mispronounced it. So he's the author of Islam, Israel, and the West, Middle East Affairs, Political Theology, Defending Judeo-Christian Values, Views Are My Own. So he said, Islamic seminaries across America assigned Zoran Mamdani's father's book, America, the Cold War, and the Roots of Terrorism, as essential reading for their students. In this book, Mahmoud Mamdi exonerates Islam from terrorism and blames America entirely for its emergence. Mahmoud stood beside his son, who became the mayor of New York last night, celebrating with thousands of people he helped convince to hate America and blame it for the world's ills. At the same time, universities across the U.S. assigned other textbooks that teach the same lie across departments and disciplines. Teach people what Mahmoud Mamdi taught, and you'll raise more Zorans to rule your society and reshape its image. Serious institutions that care about America's future should assign books that tell the truth. Islamic theology is beyond terrorism, not America. The CIA may have used terrorists to advance its interests, but it didn't create terrorism. So I thought that was important. These are all just showing like the loss of freedom. And now this next one, I wanted to show you what it looks like when a far left radical government takes power. So this is Konstantin Kisin. He's the host of Trigonometry. He said, I always laugh when people insist I'm overreacting to far left movements in the West. Oh no, I lived it. And I know what's possible when utopians get their way. So I think this looks like him to me, but he could be someone else. So he grew up. This is a picture of Vladimir Lenin. And if you don't know, some of his ideas led to a lot of people being oppressed and or dying. So now this, speaking of being oppressed and dying, sorry guys, it's a little, this video is meant to show you, give you a light to like some of the freedoms that we're losing across the world, and to show that it's actually important to stand up for these things. So people are shaming the Canadian government and the people of Canada for not standing up more, I guess. And so today, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, I think it is, will call all these beautiful birds at the Universal Ostrich Farm in Edgewood. The Supreme Court will not even listen to the case. These ostriches have antibodies that can help cure so many diseases. Please pray for this family. So I'm not going to play this whole video, but they're like very upset over this.
I don't know what pain looks like, Canada. That's right. She's gonna lose everything she's ever loved for 35 years that are healthy. She's gonna lose everything she's loved. That's what pain looks like when the government fails you, and you remember that.
All right. So I just wanted to get that message out there. And some really sad news is they did indeed call them today. Or last night, I should say. You can see, I don't want to leave this up for too long because it's sad, but you can see along the lines here, they got bales of hay set up along here. And they actually have like little, I guess, body bags, big body bags. And they actually, the first time they set up hay bales, they must have been, I guess they were wet, or someone lit them on fire, but I don't think someone lit them on fire. I think they self-ignited, because when hail bales get wet, they can self-ignite. But anyway, the important part about this story, besides the ostriches, because the ostriches are important too, obviously, living creatures and all that, but they took over the neighbor's house and set up, and like they seized property, private property, in order to kill, or in this case, like in legal terms, you'd say destroy private property. But they killed the birds just because some of them had flu like 200 days ago. And the Supreme Court upheld this ruling. So it's actually getting really scary in Canada, guys. Private property doesn't mean what it normally means. I'm not a lawyer, but like that one's got me freaked out. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of that one. Now, I want to move on to MAGA Civil War. Now, if you don't know what happened, Tucker Carlson here had Nick Fuentes on his show. And if you don't know who Nick Fuentes is, he is, he calls himself a conservative and a Catholic. And he wants to be, he's like America first, but really he's like America only. And, but he started up the Groyper movement, which is like the Pepe the Frog guy. And a lot of those guys are very, to put it mildly, hateful, sexist, anti-Semitic, white supremacy type of guys. So, and he said he admired Stalin and all kinds of things. And I don't know if you know this, but Stalin was the reason why like 40 million people starved or something like that in Russia. So not exactly a guy to look up to, let alone Hitler. Anyway, let's see what Megyn Kelly's got a new show, or not a new show, but she has like Sirius XM gave her like an interview show, I guess you'd call it. I'm not really sure exactly what it is. She probably does more than one thing, but she had Tucker on and Ben Shapiro. So I wanted to go over some of the clips because it's very important. Because after Nick Fuentes was on Tucker Carlson, we've seen a lot of, I'll call them pro-Israel side of MAGA, and the non-pro-Israel side. So I guess the anti-Israel side. Well, I can't say anti-Israel because that's some of them probably are anti-Israel, but the real word would be like America only, right? So they don't want. But anyway, I'm not gonna speak for them. Let's listen to what they had to say. But Megyn Kelly asked Tucker Carlson about some of the controversy that's come up over the last couple of days. So I just want to go over that.
I don't accept platforming as a valid objection.
When is that a verb, by the way? You take a noun and you make it into a verb and nobody says anything? As a former editor, I say no.
Yeah.
So platforming is when you put someone on your show and give them like a larger audience than what they would normally have, or let them speak to people they normally wouldn't. Just so people know.
Agreed. Okay. Honestly, but as far as I know, Nick Fuentes hasn't eaten anyone. I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer ate people, and he was platformed by Diane Sawyer.
Dude, we have a sitting member of Congress. I spoke to the Speaker of the House about this today.
Gross.
We have a sitting member of Congress from Florida called Randy Fine, who was literally texted or put on Twitter, we should kill them all. Every single one. Someone texted a picture of a dead baby, and he laughs at it. And it's like, this guy's a lawmaker who's appropriating money to a military committing genocide, and that's cool? It's not cool.
No.
And let's just be honest.
Can I just stop right here for a second? What did that have to do about platforming Nick Fuentes? But anyway.
That is much worse than anything Nick Fuentes has said.
Okay, never mind.
Period.
I don't think so, though.
So the main pushback has been when you had Jeffrey Dahmer or the Ku Klux Klan, or et cetera.
Laughing at a picture is worse than getting people to like Hitler and hate Jews and all the stuff that he's been doing. I don't know.
These journalists went after them, like exposed the terrible things. And Nick Fuentes has said a long list
They're both not nice things, though, obviously.
of very vile things.
Big time, including attacking my dad, which was the most vile of all, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I personally have watched videos of him questioning the Holocaust, likening it to baking cookies in the oven, and there's no way you could have gotten to 6 million, seems to be his theory. He seems to think that we've way overstated the number of Jews killed in the Holocaust.
I think Megan is trying to like bridge the two groups back together, because obviously they don't want to go back to like a left-wing government. So like the Democrats, like, in Joe Biden's government. But you can see here Tucker's like thinking about it real hard here.
Ripped on poor Usha Vance in the most offensive terms.
I don't know what that face is. I don't know if that's like it looks like a guilt face to me. But then it instantly goes to don't look guilty.
Which I mean, so what do you say to those people who say, why didn't you raise any of that?
Do your own interview the way that you want to do it. You're not
And then he just totally shrugs it off.
my editor. Buzz off. I mean, I don't know. You want to go yell at Nick Fuentes? I'll give you his cell. Call him and go sit and yell at him and feel virtuous or whatever. That's up to you. I got the same thing with Putin. Why aren't you yelling at him? Okay, why? So I can show that I'm a good person? I care about what my wife thinks, my children think, and God thinks, and that's it. I don't need to prove that I'm a good person to you. You may think I'm a terrible person. Okay, I'm just doing my thing, which is I want to understand what people think, and I'm committed to that, and if you don't like it, don't watch. That's my view. Yep. But that doesn't mean that I share the views. I'm not telling Nazi jokes, obviously, or Holocaust jokes. I mean, please.
So, like, you can have somebody on and talk to them, and you can, like, try to figure out what their point of view is. But, like, there's certain things that have been outside the Overton window for a long time for a reason, because it leads to people radicalizing. But that's the debate between, well, free speech absolutism versus, like, I don't know, the greater good kind of a debate. I'm not going to have that right now, but let's just keep listening.
The main critique.
Oh, I got another clip here. Hold on. So this one is Ben Shapiro. And it says, this is a preview. She released the full 12-minute clip. We disagree on the interpretation of what Tucker has been doing for the past 2 years. Ben Shapiro reveals the actual Tucker texts after Charlie assassination and opens up about the Fuentes interview fallout. Oh, this is the 12-minute one? Hold on, guys. I don't want to watch the full 12 minutes. But if you want to see the full thing, it's right. It got posted like 11 o'clock this morning.
Gloss the Nazi. Then I'm going to speak out about that, and I'm going to point out that there is a long pattern of him ideologically laundering terrible ideas over the course of the last 2 years, ranging from traveling to Russia to sniff the bread and explain why the Russian regime is actually wonderful, to saying last week that the
Okay, well, I think it's kind of important to talk to Russia in a way like that, like, ending the war kind of a way. But Russia's been doing some sketchy stuff lately. So, and for a while, actually, not just lately. So it's hard to trust people when they're being really sketchy like that. I find it hard to try, and it's getting harder and harder to try and bridge the peace Or maybe it was always hired. I don't know.
The Venezuelan regime of Nicolas Maduro is actually not that bad because they're being attacked by, in his words, globo homo.
Tucker's made the point, I'm not going to here to be Tucker's defender, but he's made the point that Maduro is culturally conservative.
Who gives a shit? The guy's
Ben doesn't swear very often, so, and that's a lie. But he was reaching out to Megan there, and then she tried to bridge the gap again. And I don't think Ben's having none of that.
Whether he's anti-LGBTQ rights. This is the #1 thing about Nicolas Maduro. You know how far down the list you have to get before you can get to anything remotely recommendable about Nicolas Maduro?
I did ask him yesterday.
No, I know. The only thing I know about Nicolas Maduro, to be fair, is that he's supposedly the leader of several gangs, and he's the leader of the country. So he's up to some very shady things, to say the least, and a lot of it has to do with like the opioid crisis and fentanyl and stuff. So I can only imagine how many people he's responsible for getting killed. But anyway, Candace Owens admits to being a leftist. It's been abundantly clear for some time now, but I'm glad she's admitting it now. So this is Han Shanity. He's Joel Berry. In the last year, Candace and Tucker have been given our side nothing but demoralization, division, confusion, and conflict. Their impact on the right has been devastating. They've made us weaker, and they've won nothing except clicks and ad revenue for themselves. Pathetic. Candace said, very important for you to know that I am not, nor have I ever been, on your side. Hope this helps. So they're implying that Candace is saying that she's not left, or she's not right anymore, which would imply that she's left, but I think it's more like, I think she's trying to imply that she's like some kind of another side. So again, this is like where we're seeing like a split between the right and the woke right, or the supposed woke right. Alleged. So this is E.L. Jacoby, and this is a clip where Vice President J.D. Vance says that Nick Fuentes doesn't have any room in the MAGA movement, calling him a total loser. Now, I would show Nick saying like a montage of Nick saying things that he says, but if you want to see that, I suggest watching Ben Shapiro's viral video where he talks about Nick Fuentes, because he does a very good montage in that and explains what's happening. So let's hear what J.D. Vance has to say.
In your own movement, that's what I want to ask about, because one of the supremacists who was saying things like this about your family, Nick Fuentes, an avowed anti-Semite, went after your wife. He had previously dined at Mar-a-Lago with Donald Trump. Does this have any room in your movement, in the MAGA movement?
Of course it doesn't have any room in the MAGA movement, and of course...
You disavow him and this.
And of course Donald Trump has criticized this person. Look, I think the guy's a total loser. Certainly I disavow him, but if you ask me what I care more about, is it a person attacking me personally, or is it government policy that discriminates based on race? That's what I really worry about.
In your own movement.
Yeah, so J.D. Vance makes it pretty clear that he wants nothing to do with anti-Semitism or racism or any of that stuff. So we're probably going to see a clear split here, unless there's some kind of repentance going on, which I don't see ever happening. And so this is Megyn Kelly talking to Tucker some more. I'm not sure if we have time to go over this right now. Maybe I'll go over the whole 12 minutes at some point.
Levin, who I know well, he's obviously a lunatic, but he's a person, and I didn't want to fight. Well, he obviously is, but I didn't want to fight with him at all. And I said to both of them, I called them the day after.
Anti-Semite. I don't even know what I know at least what the accusations against you are. I have no idea what I did.
Is anyone thinking through the damage this is doing, like downstream? I don't think that Levin, again, there are things that Levin says that I agree with completely.
Okay,
but Mark Levin,
enough about him, because he's truly, I mean, Mark Levin, you're like, oh, Mark Levin's angry again. What a shock. But is there any way that you and Ben Shapiro can actually find your way to détente?
I'm not against Ben.
So this is 3 times that I've seen, at least now, that she's trying to bring people together. But I don't see, like, Tucker is acting like he doesn't know, like, what's going on. Like, look at this. Look at this. He's trying not to smile here. You can see it.
Shapiro, he did like a 40-minute thing yesterday calling me dangerous and all this stuff. It's like, I didn't watch it.
See? He's trying really hard because he's lying. And he said, I didn't watch it. Like, obviously he watched it. Of course he did.
Why? But I got a lot of texts about it, and it's like, I don't think Ben Shapiro is driving a lot of this stuff. I don't consider him like the world's greatest force for evil. I don't feel that way at all. I don't actually.
And also, why wouldn't he watch it? He's obviously going to be asked about it.
Think about him ever. So I'm not attacking him. I saw him at Charlie's memorial service backstage. It was totally nice, and he looked a little uncomfortable. But
and you guys got to realize that this is coming off Tucker saying, like, platforming a lot of anti or people who have a negative view of Israel. You know, over and over, and then him saying that, you know, he likes Sharia law and Zohar Mamdani is a good person and all this stuff. So I think that the pro-Israel people have very good reason to have gripes with pretty much everybody here, except for, like, you know, Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson. Megyn Kelly hasn't done anything. Even though I don't think, like, because there's a clip here that I had. Oh, we already watched this one, where Ben Shapiro is talking to her. I wonder if I can find it. Hold on, guys. But basically, that what he does is, okay, I think this is it, actually.
Our many appearances together, and now of the same place that Charlie was getting to toward the end of his life, the same place that some people had tried to drive me, which is you're under withering, nonstop accusations of being something you know you're not, but from some people who you love and who you've been protecting, at least in my case and Charlie's case, for 2 years, who you've been completely defensive of. And Charlie and I both felt.
Megyn has been in defense of Israel for quite a while.
And because we talked about this on.
I don't think. Okay, let's look.
Like, what's happening here? Why are they dropping charges of anti-Semitism against us when we love Jews and we're both open Semites? We're Zionists.
So that's Megyn Kelly saying that she's Zionist. The right is Zionist. I think that she just doesn't want to have the right lose. But anyway, that's going to wrap up today's video. Thanks for watching. I went a little bit longer than I was supposed to, but if you liked the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And don't forget that freedom is very important, and not everybody has it, and we need to keep it. So, Shane out. Peace.